What's going on, guys? Got another review for you. This is going to be the truck bed extender Hallmaster brand. This is the Harbor Freight if you're familiar with it. It's about $64. Got it with a 20% off coupon. So I was about $52 to $56. I can't say exact. I don't remember. This is supposed to extend your truck bed another 3 feet. And it's a 2-inch receiver. So this will go right into your hitch and we should get another 3 feet from the bed. I'm not too sure if that's going to be from the edge of it out or if it's supposed to be from here, the end of your tailgate out. I'm pretty sure it's from the actual bed's ending. This is on the truck right now. There's a whole bunch of mess back there. What we're going to do is unbox this for you, and then tomorrow I'm going to be picking up 16-foot shiplap. So I think it is going to be a little too much for this, but it's still going to be a review nonetheless. So let's check it out. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and just open it up. Like I said, there's not too much going on in this box. I want to say it's going to be like probably 4 pieces. 2 of them being bolts, 2 of them being the actual bottoms. Like I said, this is on the truck at the moment, so we'll see if you have any shake kind of on the camera or anything. But right out the gates, we do have, I believe it's going to be just a little flag, potentially for the material that you have exceeding the, what is this, the truck bed extender. It's nice. It comes with a little pin, not a locked one by any means, but I do have one attached to my receiver at the moment. Got an instruction pamphlet, cotter pin, and I think that's going to be all that there is loose item wise. So we're going to pull this out. Guys, it is Harbor Freight, so there's going to be some scratches, there's going to be some dents. I already have right here and something else over here. It's cheap stuff. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't. I kind of have no option at the moment because I have 16-foot material that I need to pick up tomorrow. So it was either get a trailer, get this, or buy a new truck, or have someone else do it. So I'll be getting a new truck later on, but that's in the future, and that is going to be the full 8-foot bed. Right now I have a 5.5 on this F-150. It is the short box, so that sucks, but with the tailgate dropped, I think it's another, like 1.5 foot, so I may have 7 feet in total with the bed dropped. But 16 feet is definitely a lot of space to cover, so we'll see what we have full length with this all built together. I'll go ahead and put this together for you on video, and it looks pretty simple, so let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are in the back of the truck. Sorry if I make a little bit of noise with this box right here. What we're going to do is we're going to install the truck bed extender from Harbor Freight. I do have a locking pin right on my hitch, so I just need to find the key to pull that off real quick. And then we'll go ahead and attach this and see how much extra space we're actually going to get from it. There we go. There's my locking pin. We're just going to set the key, set the pin, put that aside. I do have, just to be specific, I have a 2-inch receiver, and I got a tape measure right here. So we got a 2x2 square, and it's going to be 2 inches there. It does say it on the box. You could always maybe get adapters or whatever to reduce the size if you need to, or extend the size. So we're going to go ahead and put this in. So like I said, 2-inch, so that's going to work fine for me. I'm going to use my pin. It did come with one right here, as well as, I'll show you. Came with the pin right here with that little recess, and it came with a cotter pin, so just to pump that. But what I do is I already have my own locking pin, so I'm going to put that on, as well as put the lock on. That's just so no one takes it. I do have a drop hitch. I had one, and that's because I have a 6-inch lift on the truck, so I just had that loose on the truck. So it either got stolen, benefit of the doubt, I'm going to say it fell off the truck, but I only had it on for 1 day extra than I should have had it, and I went to Home Depot, and sure enough, it wasn't there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my locking one, but it does come with one included, and it comes with a cotter pin. that. Right now, I'm going to be taking this off because I need to do some more driving, and I'm not going to have the material on just yet. That'll be tomorrow morning. But if I was going to keep it on, I would just throw my lock back on it and call it a day there. But we do have right here, we have the extension, and from the, so what I'm doing is measuring right from the end of my receiver all the way to the outside to see what I have. So it's 48.5 inches. I have a few things right here I can move. If I was to measure from the end of the bed, it is 53 from the inside, 55 from the outside, because it is 2-inch squared. Next step is you're going to get this T-bar right here, and all you're going to do, pull your cotter pin. It does come with two cotter pins, 2 pins. And that's going to go over. So for me, let me go ahead and drop my tool, or drop my tailgate. And what I'm going to measure is from the floor to the top of my tailgate. Right now I'm at 38 inches. So what I would do is raise this up accordingly, throw my pin in, throw the cotter pin in, and that should be leveled out. So I have 38.5. So 38.5 would be right there. So it would be, it's almost at the top hole. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 holes of adjustment. What I'm going to do though is I would actually go above and raise this higher than my tailgate is, because I'm going to accommodate some type of weight, so it is going to teeter a little bit more. So go ahead and grab our pin. I'm going to go with the second hole right there. Like I said, there is going to be weight on here, so eventually this will pull down. So even if I am slightly off, the weight will straighten everything out. So all I would do next, get my cotter pin. We're locked in right there, and I'll show you around. Alright guys, so don't mind the mess in the back, that all needs to get thrown away. I have the truck bed extender on the truck. If you look right here, I'm going to lower you down as level as I can. You see the right side is higher, pretty significantly. I don't know if you see that right there. So right here, we're dropped down. I can see it visually. I was trying to move it a little bit before I filmed this, but I don't think it's really going to move any. So here we are. What would essentially happen is you have material. So like I said, I have 5.5 foot bed, plus I have 1.5 foot from the tailgate being down. So I have 7 feet to the end of here. So the sheet of 4x8 plywood usually ends a little bit over, but we have this truck bed extender now. So from right at the very edge of my tailgate, right at the edge of the tailgate, we're going to add 29.25 inches. So that isn't quite 3 feet. If we were to go from the actual bed though, we'd be at about 55 inches, give or take. What this is going to do though, and you'll see tomorrow, is whenever I put the piece of material, this right here, I believe is called the cantilever, whenever your material, pretty much the pivoting point. So if I had a 7-foot area and I had 16 foot of material, I have more material hanging off to the left, which is the cantilever, and that will tip. So on the highway, that stuff will flap around. With this, we are adding an additional almost 3 feet. We'll just call it 3 feet just for the sake of the video, because it's just like 4 inches shy of it. What we're going to do is we're going to add that amount. So in total now, so we had 7, so 8, 9, 10. 10 feet total would be from here to the front or the back of the truck bed. So from right there all the way over here should be about 10 feet. We are doing 16 foot material, so 12 feet would be just fine. If you had 14 feet, it'd be a little bit wobbly. Being that we have 16 though, that's where I'm a little concerned as far as if we're gonna max this out some. So we still have, that's only 5 feet right there. So it's still gonna be quite a lot to put on this and for a first test, but a test nonetheless. I'm gonna try and shift this around. You do see there is some wobble and movement when moving this thing. I'm going to try and straighten this thing out though, because I don't really like that. There's some play, but I think it's honestly just bent in a weird way. I mean, the material would still be there. You have the tie downs, so whenever you have the material on and you just tie it down, it'll straighten out, and then you're still gonna strap it down to the bed. Not too sure. Harbor Freight is good about their return policy, so it's easy. They had it in stock. It's not an ordered piece or anything. So what I may do if I have time is probably just go take it back, in all honesty, and not deal with moving it back and forth. But if I had to live with it, I think it'd be just fine, in all honesty. And there's that little plastic flag, but I'll put my own. And we'll see, and we'll get a photo for you and a video showing you the F-150 5.5 foot bed, tailgate dropped, truck bed extender, adds 3 feet, plus the 16 foot of material. We have about 27 to 30 pieces of shiplap that we need to load up tomorrow for a job tomorrow and through the rest of this week. So you'll get to see what it looks like on here. If I have any driving issues, the truck is lifted, so clearance wise I shouldn't have any issues. If it's a very weird steep bumpy hill or something, I can see this coming down, but I think it'll be just fine. I'm sure they do all those statistics when building this and making this. So I'll check back in with y'all tomorrow. Okay, I did move the truck to more of a leveled area. It was kind of on a weird hill. I'm gonna put this tape right here. So I did measure it, and you can see if I lower the camera down like I did earlier, it's not as bad as it was before. So right here with the tip that it has, it's like maybe a ½ inch or so worth of a tip. Right here we're gonna be at 43 inches on the top of this side, and this is 43.5. So it's not even worth my time taking it back for a ½ inch worth of play. Like I said, it is Harbor Freight. Don't expect the best, but it's also not the worst. All right, they do have some really good stuff, really cool stuff. That's going to be the name right there, the brand. Obviously the hitch specs and everything, you know, warnings, be careful and all. But I think we're going to be just fine. You can see what we're working with right here as I back up. So we got the truck, like I said, 6-inch lift, 37s. Clearance on the ground should not be too bad. If it was stock, maybe there'd be an issue. I do know when going to the house that I'm going to be working in, it does have a little bit of an aggressive lean, and I have taken shiplap over there before, but it was 12 or 14 foot. I want to say 12, and it was a little sketchy, but I can't see again. So it's one bump you hit, but it was going off of the tailgate, just dropped, and then it was like hanging over. So we do have a little bit more. It's just going to be really, really long tomorrow. So I drive trailers, you know, I've hitched up a couple times, but to have 16 feet is going to be very interesting to see. So I'm going to pick it up in New Braunfels and go up to Bee Caves. So that's going to be another hour to an hour and a half worth of a drive with this material. Most highway and a couple turns, but we'll see what happens. So here we are at Home Depot. We got the F-150, 6-inch lift, 37s, 5.5 foot bed. We have 2 feet or so for the tailgate being dropped, the bed extender from Harbor Freight. So we have a total of about 10 feet and a few inches from the very back all the way to right here. So we have 6 feet hanging off. This is 16-foot material. This is shiplap. It's a little questionable. I could not get the order closer to the location, so I need to drive about an hour with this. So it didn't drop too much. The only question or concern right now is going to be this right here, kind of flapping around. But I'm going to get some straps and get that all torn together. So this isn't moving. I'm moving the entire stack right now. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't have lower tie down points back there. Mine are slightly higher, so it would just go straight across and not touch anything. So that would be one thing. What I'm gonna do is just wrap that with some saran wrap and probably put another tie or two. And we got an hour to go. But here it is, first test. We got 6 feet hanging off. Technically I can cut off 2 feet because I only need 14, but I'd rather make sure on that cut by when I get to the job rather than cut it early and then be screwed. So that's what we're looking at right now. This was very interesting driving with, but it wasn't too bad. I just drove in the slow lane. Bungeed these together here. You can see it wasn't really going anywhere. I didn't strap the back, but it was fine because I did an X pattern over here, so these weren't going to move anywhere. Maybe scuffed up just a little bit, but overall really good product. It did the job. Got to the home, no issues. So definitely recommend getting one if you are in question. This is obviously shiplap, so it's a little flimsier. If you're using actual lumber, then you should be fine because it'll be more stiff across. Weight wise, wasn't too much of an issue. I never hit anything, nor did I sag too much. I would definitely recommend buying one if you are dealing with a short bed, or even if you have a long bed and you just don't want to have that floppiness. If it was a full 8-foot bed, you know, you'd only have a full, probably a couple feet hanging over. So it got the job done with this short box, 5.5-foot bed, 16-foot material. Good product.